24 hours ago, we were in Cairo, standing before the pyramids, wandering the citadel, getting lost in el-Khalili. Now we're waking up in Luxor, and this place would completely still our hearts. From ancient tombs descending into the Valley of the Kings in Luxor, and the kind of human connections you never forget, this Egypt trip gave us everything and left us wondering when we would be back. We're Jen and Mike, a travel-loving couple exploring the world together for over 25 years. We've lived, traveled, and adventured as a family. We share our favorite experiences and tips so you can make your own adventures happen. If you enjoy our journeys, don't forget to subscribe and join us for more adventures. Late night flights are tough. It's the only way we can get it all in. It's by flying in the middle of the night. So much fun. With only 4 days off work, this was the only way to make Egypt happen. 17 hours in Cairo, then straight into a midnight flight to Luxor. Thankfully, our driver was waiting to take us to our hotel. So good morning from Luxor. Look at that. Right outside of our hotel. It's one of the reasons I booked this place, so that we could see the balloons take off behind. We didn't care that it wasn't fancy, we just wanted this. The view we missed in Cappadocia when balloon flights were canceled. Seeing them from the ground had been on my bucket list ever since. Our day in Luxor started with our driver Moody picking us up for our tours. We didn't know it then, but he would become one of the reasons this trip turned out to be so special and memorable. And then there was Shaima, our Egyptologist, such a kind, walking encyclopedia of all the facts about everything we saw. And that's where our tour starts. We are at Queen Hatshepsut's Temple. It's a beautiful morning in Luxor. We're going to go explore. We have a tour guide with us. It's going to tell us everything about it. We've already learned the history of this amazing woman, so we're going to go see what's left. One of the first things our guides explained in Luxor was that nothing here is random, especially which side of the Nile you're on. In ancient Egypt, the East Bank was the land of the living. It's where cities thrived, temples rose, and daily life unfolded alongside the rising sun. Even today, it's the more energetic side of Luxor, busy streets, shopping, and constant movement. The West Bank, where we're staying, was the land of the afterlife. This is where the sun sets and where pharaohs prepared for eternity. That belief shaped everything we saw over these 2 days. Our first stop on the West Bank was the Temple of Hatshepsut, built boldly into the cliffs. Unlike the hidden tombs beyond these mountains, this was a mortuary temple, meant to be seen, aligned with the rising sun across the Nile. Hatshepsut was one of the few women to rule as pharaoh, and she ruled during a time of peace and prosperity. To legitimize her reign, she filled this temple with stories, divine birth, trade expeditions, offerings to the gods, even portraying herself with the symbols of a male pharaoh. But after her death, her legacy was nearly erased. Just beyond these cliffs lies the Valley of the Kings, where rulers like Thutmose III were buried, hidden deep within the desert. While kings rested in secret, Hatshepsut chose permanence, a temple built in the open, daring time to forget her. And somehow, despite every attempt to erase her story, she endured. Thousands of years later, her temple still stands, and Luxor still lives by the same rhythm of life and afterlife. Okay, so we are leaving Queen Hatshepsut's temple. It's pretty spectacular to see all the hieroglyphics and paintings still on the wall. You can see the colors that are in there. There's a lot of history there between her family and her being the king, but then her stepson wanting to destroy all evidence of her. So there's a lot of like where her head is chopped off and her royal symbols are destroyed, and he tried to replace them with his. But pretty remarkable, the story about her. We're going to go meet our guide, and then we're gonna head out to probably the Valley of the Kings, which is right behind this mountain. Take these little electric shuttles to and from. No matter where you go, there's a market everywhere. This is us walking into the Valley of the Kings right now. This is cracking me up. Our tour guide is so fast. She's moving over here. Good her go. We just have to follow her little umbrella. She'll get us here. So we get to see 3 tombs, and then we're going to pay for a couple of extra ones that our guide has selected for us that should have some nice bright colors in it. You can wait for these little electric shuttles, or really honestly, you could walk if you wanted to. We just followed Shaima. She definitely knew how to navigate these crowds.
The chaos is ensuing here.
Dozens of pharaohs are buried here in tombs painted over 3,000 years ago. Before heading inside, we stopped to look at these models that show you what you can't see from above. There are over 60 known tombs hidden deep beneath this desert floor. The model also shows the maze of corridors and chambers carved down below, each one built to protect the pharaoh's journey into eternity. This is where you can catch the little transportation through the valley. Tickets over here for that. There's no shortage of people here today. Unlike some tombs hidden deep underground, Ramses IV tomb was built on a grand scale. Wide corridors, towering ceilings, and walls absolutely covered in color and symbolism. This wasn't meant to be subtle. It was meant to prepare a king for eternity. Ramses IV ruled during Egypt's 20th dynasty. Every inch of his tomb is filled with sacred texts, meaning to guide his soul safely through the afterlife. Ancient guides describing the sun god Ra's journey through the underworld each night. Just like the sun, the pharaoh's soul was believed to die, be tested, and be reborn by morning. These images were spells carved in stone, meant to defend Ramses IV from chaos on his journey beyond death. Standing here, it's humbling to realize this tomb wasn't built for visitors. It was built for one soul, and thousands of years later, we're still walking through the path to eternity. The reality of how many people are in these tombs. Oh my goodness. It's a natural pyramid here. Which kind of gave away the fact that there was something hidden in this mountain. This one's a deep one. It's a really deep tomb. And he died quickly, so they didn't have time to finish it, but the paintings are supposed to be amazing. Unlike the grand scale of later tombs, Ramses I one is deep, narrow, and intensely personal. Ramses I ruled only for a short time, about 2 years, and his tomb reflects that urgency. The walls here are covered with scenes from the Book of Gates, a sacred guide through the afterlife. Each gate represents a test the soul must pass before reaching rebirth. Even in this smaller space, the symbolism is powerful. As we move deeper underground, the colors felt almost untouched by time. Ramses I never ruled long enough to leave behind great monuments, but here in the silence of the tomb, his story endures.
He decided to be continued, but to change the angle.
Ramses III was one of the last great pharaohs of the New Kingdom. His tomb is larger and more elaborate, filled with detailed scenes from sacred funerary texts like the Book of Gates and the Book of the Dead, meant to protect and guide him through the afterlife. The walls are packed with gods, guardians, and spells, and the colors are incredibly well preserved, even after thousands of years underground. Look closely and you'll see gods, guardians, and serpents. Not decoration, but protection. We continued to be completely awed at how amazingly preserved these tombs were. The colors were so rich. Ramses III ruled during a time of conflict and change, and this tomb reflects a king determined to secure his place in eternity. Standing here, you feel the weight of both power and legacy.
Take the body out to repaint everything for himself and to add another extension.
Ramses 5 and 6. This ended up being our favorite tomb in the Valley of the Kings, Ramses V and Ramses VI, and paying the extra fee was absolutely worth it. From the moment you step inside, the difference is obvious. The tomb is quieter, less crowded, and almost overwhelmingly beautiful. The walls and ceilings are completely covered in color, detail, and symbolism, some of the best preserved artwork we saw anywhere in Egypt. Ramses V ruled only briefly, and it was his uncle, Ramses VI, who later claimed this tomb. What they left behind is a masterpiece of ancient funerary art. The walls are filled with scenes from the Book of Gates and the Book of the Dead, guiding the pharaoh's soul through the underworld. But it's the ceilings that steal the show, deep blues covered in stars, representing the night sky and the cosmic journey of rebirth. Every surface feels intentional. Gods, guardians, and sacred texts work together like a visual roadmap to eternity. Okay, this was our favorite. Might be, well, obviously there's less people in here because this is an extra one that you pay for. The stories and the pictures here are, they call it the library because it's got all of the different books. So all the different tombs might have a different book represented in their tombs, and this one has all of them represented. So the other really interesting thing about Ramses 5 and 6 tomb is that when they were building it, when they made this tomb, he did not realize that King Tutankhamun had a tomb here. So they actually put this tomb right on top of King Tutankhamun, and when they were excavating all of the trash and debris, they were like throwing over to the side, and they believe that is the only reason that King Tutankhamun's tomb was never found, because it looked like it was just buried with a pile of rubbish, and there was another tomb so close to it. So that's why it was not found until 1920. Some English guy found it.
And it wasn't rated.
It was the only one that wasn't rated.
All the jewels
so
and
you got to
everything.
remember, all these kings took everything with them. They took all of their treasures with them to go to the afterlife. And all of the tombs were rated and everything. And there's so many different opinions about who took everything, but we're talking like in the early ages. So who knows who it was, but King Tut's was there in 1920 and it was found. It is the most famous one because it was excavated and had the body and everything inside of it. But we're not going to go inside. Our guides said it was nothing special. You see alabaster shops everywhere in Luxor, and there's a reason for that. This region has been working with stone for thousands of years, and alabaster was one of the most prized materials in ancient Egypt, used for statues, vessels, and temple offerings because of its smooth texture and translucent glow. Inside the shops, you'll find everything from carved statues and vases to scarabs, lamps, and ankhs, many inspired directly by ancient designs. Some pieces are mass-produced, others are carved and painted by hand. And somehow we always forget to record when bargaining starts, every single time. I had been searching for the perfect ankh, and I found the one here in the shop. The price started at $900, which is pretty standard for an opening offer, I guess, but after a lot of back and forth, we walked away at $150, a price we were both happy with. And now the ankh hangs on our wall, not just as a souvenir, but as a reminder of our time in Luxor. Habu Temple was next. The writing on these walls tell entire stories of battles, rituals, and daily life. And somehow it feels more intimate than the bigger temples. Built by Ramses III, this wasn't just a place of worship, it was a statement of power. Habu served as both a mortuary temple and a fortified complex, designed to honor the pharaoh in the afterlife while protecting him in this world. The massive walls and towering entrance were intentional. Ramses III ruled during a time of invasion and instability, and this temple reflects that reality. It was built to impress and to defend. As we walk through the courtyards, the walls come alive with some of the most detailed reliefs in Egypt. These scenes show how Ramses III's military victories included battles against the Sea People, carved in astonishing detail. Okay, so they cut off hands, but they didn't want women and children and old people to have their hands cut off, so then he ordered for their penises to be cut off. My goodness. For ancient Egyptians, these images weren't just historical records, they were proof of divine protection and royal strength. What makes Habu so special is how well it's preserved. The carvings are deep, the colors are still visible, and you can clearly read the stories etched into the stone over 3,000 years ago. All right, we are leaving this temple.
Ramses Temple.
Temple of like death, really. I don't know if I said that right. But this is where the king, most of these paintings depict how the king is getting back at all of his enemies. I think there was a point in time where people tried to poison him and he knew about it. And then even his family members were punished. But there's artwork everywhere depicting him like cutting off the heads of his enemies. Here, this row of statues back here, this is him with his concubines underneath him. There's depictions of him cutting off people's hands, but the grandness of these columns everywhere is unbelievable. It's also, what's the date today, babe? Like October...
It's the 10th.
10th?
11th.
11th.
10th or 11th.
High season started about October 5th here. Here it's not too crowded actually. This is nice, but it's probably about 86 degrees. So it's a bit hot. I can't even imagine anybody trying to do this in the midst of summer. So definitely come when it cools down a bit so that you can enjoy all of this. Next, we headed back for lunch at the hotel and a dip in the pool, the perfect break before our sunset on the Nile. So we are waiting for some lunch at the hotel. I picked this place in Luxor actually because when we were in Cappadocia last year, we got to ride the hot air balloons, but the day we wanted to sit outside and see the balloons, they got canceled, so we didn't get the view of the balloons. And I was watching a YouTube video with some couple that stayed at a hotel near here. They had this beautiful sight of the balloons. So I went to try to book it when we got our trip to Egypt, but it was full. So I just looked on. So this place, I found it on Google Maps right next to the other place that had the balloons. And we woke up this morning, jumped up out of bed because my alarm didn't go off, but jumped up out of bed, ran outside, and the balloons were all over the place. So this place worked out perfect. It's like $100 for like 2 nights, and then the owner here, once I booked here, contacted me and just asked if he should arrange all of our tours and our driver and our guide, and I'd read some really good reviews, and I said, yeah, let's go for it. So he's taking care of us. We've got, anytime we want to add something, then the driver will take us. We're going to go on a Felucca a little bit later and go see Luxor at night, and then tomorrow we'll see Luxor and Karnak in the morning, and the souk, the city center souk, in the morning time too. Our Luxor day is turning out pretty great. Hey babe, how's that pool feel?
Pretty dang good. Perfect temperature.
Check out our ride for the evening.
Oh yeah.
On like the Egyptian bus tuk-tuk
We really.
van. After lunch and a quick break by the pool, we were picked up in a classic Egyptian tuk-tuk and headed toward the Nile for sunset. Riding through Luxor like this is one of our favorite ways to take it all in. Out the windows, the fields stretch endlessly. There's bright green crops of sugar cane and palm trees lining the canals, and farmers tending their land just as they've done for generations. We passed locals shopping, kids riding bikes, friends gathered outside cafes, and families moving through the streets. Some on foot, some on scooters, others piled in tuk-tuks just like ours. Life here feels lived outdoors. There's something special about watching daily life unfold at this pace, between ancient monuments and modern routine. And then the road opens up and we arrived at the Nile, just in time for our Felucca ride at sunset.
There she goes. Off onto the sunset cruise. We're going over to this one.
Yeah, we're going to the next boat. How fun! We came to Luxor for the temples we experienced that morning, but this part of the evening ended up being something truly special. It started with this Felucca ride on the Nile. For the next hour and a half, we sailed with our experienced captain and his 2 nephews. The boys knew every part of the boat, how to adjust the sail, how to read the wind, and somehow they made it all look effortless. A Felucca isn't fast. You don't rush anywhere. You float, guided entirely by the wind. And honestly, we still don't know how they do it. As we drifted along, we laughed and talked, and they made us hibiscus tea while the sun slowly sank toward the horizon. Sitting on a traditional sailboat on the Nile, watching the sky change colors, it's hard to put into words how special that felt. We assumed we'd eventually dock somewhere else and drive back, but somehow, with nothing but wind and sail, they turned the boat around and brought us right back to where we started in no time. Moments like this remind you the magic of travel isn't always the places you come to see. Sometimes it's the people who show you how to slow down and simply be present.
Working hard, working hard. All the way back.
Now we're on our motorboat going across to the West Bank. One of the most special things about having someone else plan your trip is that everything feels like a surprise. We had no idea what was coming next, and that made the experience even better. Before we knew it, we were being whisked onto another boat, this time with a motor, crossing the Nile toward the east bank. Thank you.
1 minute. Coming is a cruise.
Okay, taxi's coming. Thank you.
Good?
Yep.
All right.
All right.
Mohammed stayed with us the entire way, and you could see how easily he and Mike had become friends, chatting nonstop like they'd known each other for years. He told us that he was taking us to our taxi that would be waiting for us on the other side, and naturally, I assumed that meant we were headed back to the hotel. But Luxor had one more surprise waiting for us. It's a Ferrari! We were so surprised to find Moody waiting for us with the horse carriage and the kindest driver with the biggest smile, Hassan. Seeing the city this way, guided by two locals who live it every day, felt incredibly personal. Less like tourists and more like guests. This ended up being one of the most authentic parts of our trip, something we never would have planned ourselves, but feel so lucky to have experienced. Moments like this are what turn a trip into a memory that you can carry forever.
Where are you now?
Luxor, downtown Luxor.
In the market and everything around you. And we ride the carriage with the brother carriage Hassan.
We are currently going down the middle of downtown Luxor. We got picked up on a horse carriage. We weren't expecting that. And now we're checking out downtown Luxor. It's very happening down here.
That's a famous restaurant for beans and falafel.
Here?
That's the
Okay.
that's the blend that's with mango.
Mango. Plain.
Cheers.
Cheers. Cheers. Cheers. Sugar cane. One with mango, one plain.
Let's see something.
So long story short, after multiple failed attempts at the ATM, one finally stole our card. We were completely freaked out, but Moody said not to worry. He had somebody that could help. And while we were sitting at a spice shop, somebody showed up and handed us our card. Those are the perks of having a guy that knows everybody in town.
Got my spices.
Bye! Mohammed is taking us to the little souk for the night. Quick little walk through here. What a guy to know in Luxor, and what a guy to show you the real Luxor, the kind you don't find on an itinerary. We're in another taxi.
Bouncing around. We've been in like 5 different cars today.
What's up?
I loved watching the hot air balloons drift across the sky from our terrace. In Luxor, balloon flights typically launched at sunrise, taking advantage of calm winds and golden light over the Nile and the West Bank temples. Prices will vary depending on the operator and packages, but most shared rides fall in the range of about $80 to $150 per person. Ballooning here gives you a breathtaking aerial view of farmland, the Nile Valley, and the ancient temple landscapes, a perspective that's totally unique to Luxor. Many travelers will compare it to Cappadocia. We didn't take a ride ourselves, but watching the balloons float over the Valley of Kings at sunrise from our terrace was unforgettable and a beautiful way to start the day in Luxor. Okay, we're starting our day at the Karnak Temples. We just got picked up by our driver and our tour guide. She's over here getting some tickets for us. We'll go and see the temple. And then after that, we're going to do Luxor Temple. So here you go.
Temple Day.
It's a temple day. We had quite the crazy night though, didn't we?
Oh yeah.
Some interesting stories.
That's a sit-down story time right there. We can talk about that.
Turned it into a good night, but wow.
Yeah.
Lots of ATM
Just
drama.
everything. All of the above.
So it was very difficult for one king to build all of them. So it was built by different 30 royal kings, 30. Just exactly like the ancient original ones.
Yeah.
It is a gilded wood.
Day 2 in Luxor started at the place I'd seen in so many videos, the one that always stopped me in my tracks, Karnak Temple. And standing here in person, it's even more unbelievable. This isn't just one temple. Karnak is the largest religious complex ever built, constructed and expanded by pharaoh after pharaoh over nearly 2,000 years, all dedicated mainly to the god Amun-Ra. As we walked through the massive entrance, it felt like stepping into a city of stone. Towering pylons, endless columns, and walls covered in carvings, telling stories of gods, kings, and victories. One of my favorite places is the Great Hypa-style Hall, a forest of 134 gigantic columns, some over 60 feet tall. It's impossible not to look up and feel small here. No video prepares you for the scale. For the ancient Egyptians, this was the center of the universe, a place where heaven and earth were believed to meet. And for us, it was one of those travel moments where you just stop talking, look around, and realize this is exactly why we came to Egypt.
Make sure you get Coca-Cola Temple.
Good luck, Beetle.
Yep.
Yeah. Hatshepsut's second temple that was just put up last year was laying down. Her other obelisk over there that's higher than all the others. We were just talking about how we have been a lot of places, Greece and Italy, and there's been so many different ruins that we've looked at, and they're so impressive, but this place blows all of it away. To see the size of these columns, and I think the thing that impresses me the most is the detail of the carvings and the colors that are still there and the stories that are being told. And just the precision of the craftsmanship, right? And what they went through. And then to think about them hauling these stones and pulling them up so that they could put like these stones that were tons and tons. So, might be, what do you think? Is this one of your favorite
100%.
places? Yeah.
It's incredible.
This is if you are into history of any sort and like to see the ruins from the past, this would be the high up on your list of places to go. So Hatshepsut's stepson was trying to hide her obelisk. This is her obelisk right here. He didn't want to destroy it because it is an offering to the gods with the pyramid on top, but because of that, he built these walls all the way around it trying to hide it. And the great thing about that is that because the walls were around her obelisk for so long, the bottom of it is preserved a lot better. Okay, we're coming to Karnak Temple. Get here early.
Get here like opening time.
So we arrived, what time did we arrive? About 8? I think we got here around 8, but so we got here around 8, but our tour guide was giving us all the tour stuff. So we didn't get to take pictures until after she gave us our tour. And this place is completely packed now. So it's hard to get any, those photos where it looks like you kind of have the place to yourself, because you really don't at all. It's packed. But it does not take away from the beauty of it. You can find quiet corners, but this is like kind of craziness. Our next stop was the Luxor Museum, and after days of standing among massive temples and tombs, this felt like the perfect place to slow down and really connect the pieces of Egypt's story. Opened in 1975 and beautifully curated, this museum focuses on treasures found right here in ancient Thebes. Modern-day Luxor, instead of overwhelming you, it highlights some of the most important statues, reliefs, and artifacts from the New Kingdom, all displayed with soft lighting that makes each piece feel like its own moment in history. Many of the statues here were discovered buried near Luxor Temple, preserved for thousands of years before being brought inside. Seeing them up close, you can really appreciate the details you might miss on towering temple walls. One of the most powerful exhibits is the mummy of Ramses I, returned to Egypt after being lost for more than a century. Standing here face to face with the pharaoh we just learned about in the Valley of the Kings made the history feel suddenly very real. The Luxor Museum doesn't try to impress with size, it impresses with stories. It helped us understand that everything we'd seen outside wasn't just ruins, it was once a living, breathing world. We're at Luxor Temple, and this is the road of the Sphinxes that line all the way down, that go from Karnak Temple down there, and then the Luxor Temple over here. We're here by day. We're also going to come out here at nighttime tonight to see it lit up. It's getting quite hot right now.
Pretty toasty. It's pretty toasty out here.
You keeping cool?
Trying to. If I could soak this in ice water, it'd be perfect.
Luxor Temple has stood here for more than 3,000 years, right in the heart of the city, not as a place of tombs or the afterlife, but as a temple of renewal and celebration for the living. It is inseparably linked to the Karnak Temple, 2 miles to the north by the ancient Avenue of the Sphinxes. Karnak was the original spiritual home of the god Amun, and Luxor is where his power was reborn and renewed. Each year during the Great Opet Festival, statues of the gods are carried in procession from Karnak to Luxor by river and along this sacred road. This journey symbolizes the renewal of life, balance, and divine order, reaffirming harmony between the gods, the ruler, and the people. With the heat really catching up to us and knowing we might return later to see this place at night, our visit here was brief. We didn't capture as much footage as we normally would, but sometimes that's travel too. Smells so good. Our next stop was for essential oils, something Egypt is famous for. Here, the oils are often sold in their purest form, undiluted and intensely fragrant, made from flowers, herbs, and resins that have been used for thousands of years. It felt like there was a remedy for everything, for sleep, energy, stress, even headaches, each bottle coming with its own history. I couldn't resist bringing home the lotus and papyrus oils, scents so connected to Egypt's history, and then also a few beautiful perfume bottles for the girls as gifts. Little pieces of Luxor bottled up to take home with us.
So of course I'd like to join you for lunch, but if you don't mind, my husband
Is waiting for you. All right.
We're saying goodbye to our Egyptologist, Shaima. She did a fantastic job. And this is my amazing driver that we're going to stick with for a little bit longer.
He's got to hang out with us a lot longer. Yeah. Where are we? What's the name of this place?
Abu Rushdi restaurant, the best one to eat traditional food. That's the best traditional food you can eat when you came to Luxor.
Can you tell us what we have? What is this?
That's a soup,
Uh-huh.
as you see it. And that's tahina and green salad, badingan, and that's bread.
Okay.
And we wait for the meat and the chicken and the rice and the other.
Okay.
And we wait.
All right. Salt, okay. Pepper? Pepper.
That's salt.
Okay.
Put lemon for it.
Uh-huh. Okay.
It's give more taste when you eat it.
Okay.
Taste it with ours with lemon and then taste it now.
That's without the lemon.
Oh, it's good.
And then add the lemon in there.
Put the lemon and try it.
It's good.
With the lemon more delicious or
Yeah, I like the lemon.
Hana?
والشفا.
Wishipa.
Bon appetit.
Bon.
Bon appetit.
بالهنا.
بالهنا. بالهنا والشفا.
Wishipa.
شكرا. That's potatoes with
Okay.
tomato.
Okay.
That's the potatoes.
Okay.
And with tomato, they do it and boil it and give her some of that to be more delicious. When you taste it,
Okay, taste it.
But if you don't have good stomach, if you eat that food, it will be strong for your stomach.
Really good. On it or just eat it right by?
Yeah, eat it. With a little bit rice, yeah. This is it.
Really good. Really tender.
Tender, looks tender.
Yeah, it's really good.
Try chicken too.
Falls off the bone, huh?
Try that chicken.
So good.
All right, for sure.
Yes. Wow.
And that's green soup.
Oh wow. What is that?
It's molokhia. Molokhia. For you, it's a green soup. Molokhia.
Look at this table. We got salad, tahini, potatoes,
Chicken, tahina,
yes.
salad.
This little eggplant over here. We only found it, right? That's where we were. Pretty amazing.
So we're driving down the road, and then all of a sudden, there's some goats eating out of the trash bags next to the trash can.
There is cat. That's for anyone who didn't have a place.
So funny. This is our cash spot. Okay, so I am sitting in Egypt in a running car. So we have not been able to get money out of the machine. So Mike is back inside the jewelry shop that our driver knows about, so that we can get cash, because we haven't been able to get cash out of the machines. So we just are using our credit card to get cash from the actual jewelry shop now. I think our experience here in Egypt, there's no way it could be as great as it has been without our driver. So I'm so thankful that our hotel found us this driver, because I feel like we're getting like a real authentic little Egyptian experience out in the, you know, in the local neighborhoods and going into local shops and doing things like that, which is a lot nicer than just the touristy places, which, I mean, the temples and all of that are absolutely beautiful. But having a little bit of an authentic experience and seeing the local people and seeing how they interact, I think it's adds so much more to our trip. Our coffee shop that he brought me to, with the beautiful view of
From snack time roof.
Snack
Luxor
time room.
Temple.
Snack time roof. My favorite place.
That's the souk over there. This is the old mosque here. Old mosque. The Luxor Temple. Yep. The Nile behind there. It's so pretty. Thanks. Bringing us to another good spot.
Thank you always.
Moody does it again.
Taking the elevator.
Hey.
We're going down. Watch your head.
Yeah, don't worry. I'll watch that. Already I do.
There's no doors on that.
Yeah.
Look at the dogs.
Don't get lost from there.
Okay. So where are we going?
They love me.
Hello, beautiful doggies.
Are you walking with the dogs? So that way I can find you.
She make me feel crazy.
The kind of music our daughters listen to. The style of music.
Room tour before we leave. This is our room at the Sirius Palace. I think that's what it's called. I don't know. I had like 2 beds out here.
It's pretty serious.
Yeah. And then I had an extra room in there too. So we were in here, and there were extra rooms. There's a bathroom. Simple refrigerator, little coffee stand. And then we were able to walk out here, and this is where we got to see the balloons in the morning when we would come out. It's a little porch area, and there's a roof up top too. And then the pool downstairs and a little breakfast area. It's out here in this quiet little area, little remote area. Okay, we are checking out, but we are gonna hang out and wait a little bit for our driver to come back and pick us up, take us to the Luxor Temple at night, and then to the airport. This is Like trying to keep the flies off of him. He said if he could just sleep like that, then he'd be fine. Thank you for all the great service here.
Yes.
Thank you. It was nice meeting you.
Good server right here. Yeah. Good music too. He's a
Yeah,
DJ.
he plays really good music.
Master DJ.
Bye. Bye.
Come to make you
Thank
photo.
you. Moody picked us up a little early for the airport and took the scenic route, just as the sun was setting over the Nile. Our last stop was Luxor Temple. We didn't go inside, but at night it doesn't need an entrance ticket. The soft golden lighting brings the columns to life, illuminating carvings that have stood here for thousands of years. Seeing these views at night, though, if you had the choice between day and night, I would highly recommend the nighttime. These views were incredible, and it's way less crowded. We're crossing the street. Easy. Oh, yeah. As we walked through town, we passed row after row of Nile cruise boats, quietly docked for the night. These floating hotels travel the river between Luxor and Aswan, giving travelers a slower, more timeless way to experience Egypt, something we'll save for next time. Moody swears it's incredible. The city felt alive, warm air, glowing skies, families out for the evening, life unfolding all around us. And it was in these final moments, just riding through the city together, that we realized how much this experience and the people who shared it with us would stay with us long after we left Luxor. Thank you, Moody, for making this trip so special. It wouldn't have been the same without you. Until we meet again, friend. We made it to the Marriott. We're back. I'm gonna sleep for 3 hours and get up and get on the plane back home. We just got here 3 hours ago.
We're
We're on our way back.
We're back in first place.